I'm Gerard. That's Candice. He's Mick. And today on Canceled Weekly, we got elks on the highway. Diddlers get their comeuppance. And crazy people doing crazy things for crazy reasons. Plus, cool mafia tracksuits.
I'm 21, I'm a high school graduate, and I work in the Marine Corps.
Maria, I'm 30 years old. I have my PhD in cancer biology, and I work in a biotech industry. Grad school, I went to University of South Carolina, and undergrad, I went to University of Florida. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, me, I don't know, PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech company. We make COVID-19 testing kits, stuff like that. And then 6. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't think you really have the highest EQ out of all of us. Tyler, he ranked last for me personally because the way he carries himself. He was ranking intelligence based on his point of view and not taking in other people's point of views and compiling results. But really just came down to his body language, his demeanor, the way he carried himself, the way he acted towards the group.
Number 1 is Raymond. Number 2 would be Kaylee. Number 3 will be Tyler. And number 4 would be Shada. Number 5 is Sean. And number 6 is Maria.
So a little bit of context for people that don't know. It's a group of strangers who were asked to rank the group 1 through 6 in what they thought their IQ would be.
Why'd she say EQ? I
don't know. Because she was 6th in the group, probably. Yeah. So when you look at that, Mick, what are your thoughts on that?
I immediately was annoyed by her. She's like, went to cancer research. You know what I mean? Went to here, went to there. We make COVID tests. Like, I guess I'm number 2.
Yeah.
Annoying right off the jump. And judgmental of the homeboy Tyler. So I was glad to see him take her seat.
And we can all be honest, she really thought she was number 1, but she wanted to be like faux humble and say
number
2.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Candice?
Yeah, I loved that guy just kicked her out of the seat. That was amazing. And how pretentious that you are. And it's thinking that because you have a specialty in one area that goes across into just your overall IQ just because you are excelling. And where did you graduate to? Wait, are you last on the list? Are you first on the list? Somewhere in the middle. But just because you're specialized in one area doesn't mean that transfers universally. But just how arrogant are you? You're just judging someone because you see them. And then you have a disheveled hair. It looks like a rat's in it and pierced up, and you're supposed to look intelligent, and you think he looks stupid?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is like, where did you graduate doesn't even exist anymore. What was it? Yale, 90% of all students are getting A's. Like, it's like Ivy Leagues are basically just pass-fail courses now. We don't even know. They say, these tests are oppressive. So there's no way to quantify your qualifications, just that you have them. And really, that's what it comes down to. If I watch her and I don't see someone that's educated, I see someone that has all the obedience check marks. Well, I went to college, then I went to super college, and now I work in COVID. So, yeah, I'm one of the
I'm
good
basically
guys.
A savior.
I'm
You're welcome.
basically a saint. Mm-hmm. And that white guy over there, that white guy, he doesn't think about other people's perspectives. No. That wasn't the assignment. The assignment was, hey, who do you think is smartest 1 through 6? Go. Mm-hmm. Well, did you even consider? No, that's not what the assignment is. Going back to what you said about arrogance, it's not just that she was arrogant enough to think she was the smartest. She thought she would change the parameters of the test to what do you think EQ meant, like emotional intelligence? She's like, are we even considering that? Mm-hmm. No, but the test was IQ. Just tell what we said. It's IQ, 1 through 6 IQ. But we're not factoring in then you run your test.
Right.
It's always the social critics always have an issue with everything that's happening in society, and we should all just be like, all right, then do it yourself. Go do your own society. No, but that's like super hard, you guys. Yeah, shut up. I don't know. The problem with that is, do you think there's more Tylers or more hers?
EQ is emotional intelligence, by the way. I just looked it up.
Thanks, Mickey.
What? Oh, the mouthful of food?
Yeah, the gobble
gobble.
Dude,
I'm hungry.
Yeah. So the EQ is emotional intelligence, huh?
Yeah, you guys are welcome.
In corporate America, I guess one of the sad/scary things is, despite her being last in the list in IQ, in our current corporate environment, she's probably the most likely to get the job.
Maybe, but some companies are starting to do personality tests, like DISC scores. What's the other one?
What's that? Is that the one where it's was it Myers-Briggs?
That's another one.
Are they using that?
Is that still going on?
I don't know.
I thought we said that one was like eliminated. The Myers-Briggs.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I know people are doing DISC, and then what's the other one? It's Colby score. A lot of people do Colby scores to try to figure out if you're going to be a good suit, like a good match for the position. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can have this claim that she's like a super intelligent, woke person and she's going to crush the competition, but they're going to have you do this score and see that you probably don't get along with people very well, so you're not going to work well in a team setting, so we're not giving you the job. Yeah. And you're also going to probably have a lot of demands, and you think that you should be promoted within 2 days, and you should be running the show.
Be catered to you.
Yeah. You're just a problem.
Now, you've hired people, I've hired people, and I have to tell you, I would literally rather close a company down than hire her. Or someone
you can't.
Like her.
It's a risk. It's a risk to the company.
The liability is insane. Mm-hmm. There's just no way they would provide enough value. And like you said, the value add for a lot of positions, unless you're in a hyper specialized thing where you're like the only person I can get or afford to do this thing, playing nice in the sandbox is more important than anything else. So much of work in an environment is like, hey, just do your job so the cog moves forward, and don't make this place impossible for everybody else. Mm-hmm. Where, unless you're doing like, you're an AI developer and there's like 11 of you on Earth, then we just kind of have to put up with your quirks or whatever. But for most of us, if we're working in some sort of like normal job environment, being part of a team is the most important thing that you can provide. And I don't think that person is a team player.
Definitely not.
But that person does then get back. They can't get a job in the real world. They go back to education. They get their PhD. They become a teacher. And then they teach all the next kids to be like them so that they can't get a job in the real world. So they have to stay in education. Yeah. It's wild. It's kind of
just
crazy.
More sucky people.
Yeah, it's a mind virus in one way or another. Yeah. Speaking of mind viruses.
Right? I'm walking out of here. Be a man.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. You're my new favorite target, dude. You're my new favorite target. I'm gonna get you. How you guys doing?
You're my new favorite target.
Huh?
I said you're my new favorite target then.
Yeah. This is oh, it's you.
No.
I know you.
I don't know you.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I'm gonna pull the body camera. I'm gonna pull everything I can. What?
Yeah.
I mean,
What was your name?
Guruchari. I've dealt with you.
I don't deal with anybody. I speak to people.
Oh no, that's fine, man. No, he's driving like an idiot.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, for context, in the longer video, the cop is berating that person, accusing them of things that he clearly doesn't have any evidence to arrest them on. And then he threatens them and says, I've told you before, and as you saw, now you're my new favorite target. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get you. But he didn't realize he was being recorded. Mm. And then he sees the guy recording him, tries to walk towards him in a threatening, aggressive manner, notices that the guy is not afraid whatsoever and goes, oopsie. Changes his tone.
Oh, I dealt with you. We're friends. It's just a joke me and this guy do. When I say you're a target, it's like a compliment.
No. You're my new favorite target. What up, buddy? Yeah. So, I mean, not good. Not good. What are your thoughts there, Mick?
It reminds me of, there's this movie. It's called The House. It's with Will Ferrell. It's kind of a newish movie. And there's like a cop, and he's like, this cop's gonna shoot me. He's like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like, he's afraid of the body cam footage or the cell phone footage.
I don't feel safe. I am Frank Theodorakis. I don't feel safe in the woods. The police are harassing me.
Hello, everyone. I'm Officer Chandler, and I'm here protecting as well as serving.
What are you doing, a PSA?
If you're filming this.
Look at you. You put your hands on your hips immediately. You look ridiculous. I will end you! I will end your life! Whoa!
So this guy totally got. He was acting like a prick. He got caught red-handed. Knew he was going down. Oh, I know you. Come on. Like, he tried to talk his way out of it. There was no sweet talk there. That guy held his ground. And, yeah, now that guy's a fool.
Yep. Candice?
How do you prevent something like that? Is it you you get more funding so that you can attract better candidates. Like, how do you prevent people that want to be a cop because of the power element of being a cop?
I would posit that you prevent something like that by getting rid of as much quote unquote preventative legislation as possible. And now I'm crazy and I can already see the comments, but like I don't even believe in speed limits. Like I don't care. Like it's so arbitrary. You're safer in the car with me driving 80 miles an hour than you are with my grandma driving 35. Right? So there's
not in a neighborhood with children. What are you talking about? Kid runs out.
Then you
have to be able to stop.
You get vehicular homicide. We have rules for that. We already have laws. The ideas of like, I'm going to get you. You're driving like an idiot. Like, I'm of the opinion, no victim, no crime. No harm, no foul. So if you don't have these people who feel like they're both all powerful and they have a savior complex, because now that guy's going to turn around and be like, he's driving like an idiot. I'm saving some kid. It's like, you didn't save anybody. You just harassed a citizen. You're not serving and protecting. We train these guys to be hammers and all they see are nails. So, but
to say target sounds like he's like going to frame him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like he's going to like set him up.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like that guy would be above anything like that, right?
Mm-mm.
I mean, what did he want that guy to do? Get on his knees and
I think
apologize?
he wanted the guy to, I think he thought the guy was lying. And he wanted the guy to be like, yes, I was driving, and be like, good, thanks for being honest. Have a good night. And kind of punk him in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I caught you lying. I caught you. You admitted it now. But the guy, whether he was correct or not, stuck to his guns.
Well, that being said, the other side of it, I was just in New York City, and I'm looking at all the cops, and they're either 19 years old or, 300 pounds. And I'm like, who are you protecting me from?
Mm-hmm.
What are you serving me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way you're protecting or serving me.
Well, what sane person wants to be a police officer right now?
Yeah.
Like, why? The pay sucks. No one appreciates
Pay
it.
doesn't suck always. It depends on what the odd irony.
If you go in there at 18, you could be out at 38 with a pension.
Yeah, the odd irony is like we grew up in New Jersey. If you're a Rumson cop, that's your job. Your job is to bag people for driving 40 in a 35 so that Bruce Springsteen, can have beautiful hedges and, and Jon Stewart can enjoy his mansion on the Navasink. And those guys make like $180,000 a year. And there's like one crime a year.
Really?
Yes. And
I didn't know it was that much.
I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah, like a sergeant with overtime can make crazy money, man. Whereas starting salary in like Newark or Camden is like $35,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Camden's bad,
that's
right?
Really
horrible
too.
Because nobody wants
top.
that job, and it's directly correlated to property tax income in the jurisdiction. So back in the day when I was in politics and I worked for a governor, one of our big things was we want to go kind of like the Florida thing, the sheriff model, where we'll do countywide instead of municipalities. And immediately it was either the PBA or the FOP. I don't remember which one of the unions it was, but they were like, okay, great, awesome. We're all going to start on Rumson's pay scale for Monmouth County. So we're all making 180. We're on board. Let's do it. And they were like, oh, no. We figured we'd just take the average here. And they were like, yeah, nah, we're good. We're kind of cool with that, because the only reason in places like Jersey, and this is huge in New York and California also, is those bad municipalities, they go to the people who can't get in the good municipalities, and they just do those jobs for 3 or 4 years so that they can get into state police or on some sort of federal task force. So, that's kind of the deal. The other big thing with those municipalities is that they don't want you to make arrests on crime, because then they don't get to lower their crime statistics when they're running for office. So I want to be able to run on the fact that I reduced violent crime in our city by 10%. And you're looking around going, man, carjackings are still happening. But they're not carjackings anymore. It's it's misdemeanor theft or something like that. Or, it's not a murder trial. It's a missing person. How do we know they're murdered? Like, they manipulate the kind of bureaucracy to be like, we brought murder down 10% last year. They just didn't claim them as homicides. They just claimed them as missing persons. So it's very odd, So if you're that person, though, and I guess this is playing devil's advocate for him, and you're in that bureaucratic environment where they don't let you actually go after the bad guys, maybe to give that guy the benefit of the doubt, he just popped because this kid's been speeding and he can't get him. And, the kid is speeding and he does it all the time. And I don't know. I've never been in the job. I just, I'll tell you what. When people talk about defund the police, I look at them and I go, you must not have the demons I have. The police save you from me. Like, I'm the bad guy. I don't do the shit I want to do. I don't do the warlord shit I really want to do.
What do you want to do, Gerard?
I want to do
Lay your plan out.
I want to do warlord shit.
You're trying to Mad Max.
There's a part inside of me that goes, this world would be a lot easier if, once they get rid of these guns and these cops, this shit's going to get a lot easier for you, bro. It's going to get a lot harder for them, but this world's going to ease up for me.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't have the moral ambiguity.
I think that's so romanticized, this idea. Because I don't like being told what to do by anyone. I think politics is a fucking virus. I hate all of it. I think anarchy sounds so romantic. However, there is an amount of freedom that you have because of these rules in place that would not exist if you had a Mad Max situation. I have the freedom to go to bed and know that my house is probably going to be safe when I sleep and wake up. I can go to breakfast and I know that it's not going to get crazy. No one's going to come in and shoot it up or rob the place. Like, it's very unlikely where I live. Like, that is a lot of freedom to be able to do those things. Where if you get rid of all of those things, my freedom to peacefully exist is gone. And now it's just whoever has the skill set and who's big, bad, and armed is going to be the one that has the freedom.
What was that second part?
Big, bad, and armed?
That sounds horrible.
I mean, for women, for children, for
not great.
People that aren't strong or skilled, I mean, I think everyone deserves peace.
Which is what's shocking to me about who is advocating for this kind of lawless society and who's
they
not.
do it because they think
who's advocating for a lawless society.
In my experience,
talking about the defund the police.
It's been the people who need the police more than anybody else.
Right.
5'2", 100-pound Berkeley graduates. Get rid of the police.
Because occasionally they, go a little far with the way they restrain people.
Yeah, the cops for sure. Well,
that's
I think the cops
what's
probably.
The reason for them wanting to?
I think the cops probably did need the chin check that happened to them. I think things had gotten out of control. I think our government needed accountability. I absolutely do. But I also think that you see it in Minnesota that there's that guy who was championing defund the police now very quietly is like, man, you know what this place could use?
Some more police.
Use a little bit of law and order here. I'm just saying. I got stuck up outside.
I support the boys in blue.
Yeah.
I don't use that number. I'm not a tattletale.
Yeah.
But I think I agree that people need them.
So
I don't think I'm one, but I think people need them.
How do you reconcile that? You love the mob and you support cops.
Hell yeah.
You never.
Hell yeah, brother.
You'll never call the
game.
Cops. you call.
It's a game. It's a game we play.
What's that game called?
Play. Cops and Robbers, dog. What do you think it's called? Been playing this since we were little kids.
Yeah. I think sometimes I think, man, I must be weird. Maybe people just don't have the thoughts I have and the feelings I have.
What do you disagree with me on?
You
agree on both. You support the boys in blue.
I think that
I think that admire the mafia and people who make their own way in the world and don't, not the ones that, hurt innocents, people, but who play their own game. We sign up for these rules, and I'm gonna get my piece out of this world if I can without hurting people.
I think it's a very delicate balance. And I just have like a very my sense of right and wrong, logic and justice is like off right now. And it's like if there's skewed justice or selective justice, there's no justice. Then you don't have any moral authority. You don't get to tell me what to do. And then there's the idea that you have to sit there and, listen to or be berated by somebody that, you could physically restrain at any given moment. And you're just like, man. And they're the ones who advocate for this society. It's like it only benefits you. This society neuters me for your benefit. What are we talking about here? Like, you know, people sitting here like, do I need a gun to kill you, or do you need a gun to stop me? What's a more realistic scenario? You know,
right?
What are we doing? And all I'm saying is, like, I love the world we live in. Mm-hmm. I'm happy for it, but I also kind of want people to have to fucking cash the checks they write with their mouth. It's like, okay, you don't want the police. You better live in. It's remarkable how many of these politicians don't actually live in the city that they're elected to. Mm-hmm. How many of these politicians will defund the police in their city and then live in the suburbs?
Yeah, I think that actually happened here in town, is that they took a lot of funding away from the police department, and I had friends that were working and they quit because things were getting so out of control, and they were just kept bending the knee to every single whim that a protester would say. And one good thing that came out of it is now the police officers here have to have their lights on everywhere, kind of like in Europe, so they can't just catch
like the flashing lights?
Not the flashing ones. They have blues on the side that they can't like entrap you, so that's nice.
Yeah, it seems like the DUI checks have stopped. Well, that was a big one when I was a kid. Like, there would just be random DUI checks.
They're still here, especially at the beach.
That, to me, that's ridiculous. Like,
I don't know. There's so many people walking and so many people drink and drive. It's like, if you're going to be that much of an asshole, I hope you go to jail. There's Uber is like the click of a button. Lyft is the click of a button. To drive home when you're drunk is so stupid and selfish.
Well, that's what happens when you're drunk. You do stupid and selfish shit.
No, I don't know. I think it's something else because, like, I mean, I don't really drink anymore, but back when I was drinking, I mean, I'm older, so like I was drinking before.
I didn't want to say anything.
I know, guys. I need to get a little lift.
She doesn't drink anymore. Last time we were out together, she was drinking like $40 a glass whiskey. Like, yeah.
No, like I mean, drink to get drunk, right? Like go out drinking. Like I don't do that. Like I'll have like a cocktail or some wine.
Were you ever a big party girl? Were you like a big Molly girl or anything like that?
No, I never. And my dad was a cop, and when I was like 5 years old, maybe
kids
younger.
of cops are the worst.
Listen, we think we're gonna die from everything. I saw a documentary.
Straight or like scared
it's
too
so
straight.
Real. He
Rebels.
showed me this like docu-series where this woman had taken bad Molly, and they were like, and they found the body 3 hours later, and it was 108 degrees. She had burnt to death internally. And he's like, drugs will kill you, don't do it. I'm like, okay, not ever touching that. So no, it's not a party girl. But what I was saying is like I did the whole party and drink thing. Well, I should say drink because I guess party means something else. So I would go out and drink back when you had to call a taxi. So I went through that transition of now there's Uber, and it would get to
old.
I know. It would get to the point though, even when I was drunk, my first reaction was to hit an Uber button. It wasn't to go get in my car. So you should be able to have that subconsciously wired to make the right decision even when drunk.
Wish I could say the same.
Oh my God!
Just like what? I'm gonna drive back I'm gonna get an Uber, pay money to go back, and then go back to the city the next day, and then
Uber,
go get my car.
don't take
and
your
then
car
go back.
out to start
You're right.
with.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, don't take your car to start with.
Do you know why you shouldn't drink and drive more than anything else? Because you never know who or what could be on the road with you.
Seemingly asking for help, but people didn't understand, some even frightened by the large animal. One driver immediately sped away. Then, the elk approached another car. Its eyes were anxious. A lady thought it wanted to be close to humans. The elk let out a cry and didn't seem to want to leave. It looked like the elk was in trouble. So, a kind-hearted man got out of the car, and the elk led them to a mud pit. It turns out several of its companions were trapped in the mire. How smart this elk was to seek human help. One elk, struggling hard, was already buried in the mud, likely doomed. The other 3 elks were probably exhausted too. If not for their companion calling humans, they might have all been buried in the mud. A kind young man put a rope around the elk's antlers. Everyone worked together to drag it ashore. But this elk seemed totally exhausted. The young man quickly gave it some water. Please comment "God bless you" for blessings. The other 2 elks were anxiously waiting for rescue. People immediately began the rescue effort. Dragging in the mud was easier, but this adult elk weighed several hundred pounds. It took a lot of strength to drag it ashore. Everyone was drained. They had to rest before continuing the rescue. The elk waited patiently. A few minutes later, people pulled it up with all their strength. After being saved, the elk didn't run away, but stayed close, watching these people. It seemed to want to remember their faces. It let out a cry, clearly thanking the people who helped.
Clearly.
Clearly.
Because we speak elk.
Did you notice this is the first, so I like that clip a lot,
yeah.
But I noticed in this one, they go, please comment, God bless you for blessings.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, of course.
The fuck? That was like that lawyer talk we were talking about. Where they're like, yes, we own all your shit, and then you get some of this and some of that.
Yeah, that was some Russian farm that wrote the text.
Please comment. God bless you for blessings.
Yeah, my favorite with those bot farms is when they do the cooking, and where it's like use water from Mississippi River. You ever seen that one?
No.
I spend too much time on the internet.
Anything straight to noodle. Boil 2 minutes. Rinse with water from Mississippi River.
Do you think those elks were feeling gratitude when they went back into the woods and took an arrow from Joe Rogan?
Oh, poor elk.
Hell yeah, dude. I think it's awesome. I think there's really cool how smart animals could be. I think we write them off in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like we're just like, it's a dumb animal. You know what I mean? We kind of are egotistical. We think more of ourselves, and we don't think about like dolphins are smarter than us. Yes, they can't manipulate their environment the way we can. We have thumbs and we, you know what I mean? But they have like a whole set of communication through like sonar.
Yeah.
And like different type of stuff like that. Like I think that's just really interesting. I love seeing I think that's just a beautiful story of animals and people coming together. The animals needed help. All those elk were about to die. Mm-hmm. They went out, got the attention from the driver and saved all those guys.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really cool story.
Kind of makes me feel like elk are dicks. So like you can communicate with us whenever you want, but now you need something, and now you're coming up and hanging out. Like what? Like maybe we want to pay you, elk.
I think that elk was desperate, man. He wanted to save its buddies.
Yeah.
That
elk's like I told him not to go in the mud, but they went in the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah. That elk didn't have any mud on it at all. that elk definitely is not sixth on the IQ test. The other 4 elk.
Smart.
Yeah. The first elk, obviously that's tragic. The second elk, all right, fine.
Maybe they were all
I think
running
they rescued
together.
all the elk.
The third elk goes into the mud? Maybe don't save the third one. All I'm saying is maybe don't save the third one. Like help the genetics out. Yeah, like let's help the genetics out a little bit. It's like, that the first 2 elks, understandable. The third elk.
Well, speaking of, like you said, Rogan, they should get it out and then shoot it. It's some good eating.
Hey, listen, elk is good stuff. All I want is a little bit of capitalism here. You get to keep your life. I get an antler. Like, what do you think? No? Don't they regrow the antlers?
Don't ruin the beautiful clip.
The beautiful clip was ruined when it said like and share in the middle of it.
Yeah, that was really gay. I like God bless for blessings. And anyway, these elks were,
I never knew that elks howled at the moon.
Yeah, they make a really crazy sound.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen what they're doing with AI and trying to decode animal language?
Yes.
You have?
I did just see something about that, yeah. I literally saw it last night. Was that in our group, maybe?
We were...
I don't know. I didn't send it.
It's kind of trippy, man. We were watching some things on like Neuralink and the possibilities of like what that could be, and like it's wild. It's pretty wild. I think it's going to drive the first couple people who like link up to it. I think it's going to drive them crazy. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to go nuts.
Too much.
It's just too much. It's going to feel like you're schizophrenic. Mm-hmm. This idea that
like a beautiful mind with Russell Crowe.
How are you going to know? Mm-hmm. How could you possibly know like what's real and what's not? It's your brain. It's inside of you. And now all of a sudden, like you understand what the dolphin is saying to you. And you're like, it's too much, man.
With some of the AI, what they realized is mom parrots, they actually name each of their young, and they'll whisper the name of each baby to it and have it repeat it back until they understand their name.
Who does that?
Parrots, mom parrots. Yeah. Okay. And then with dolphins and whales, they all have names. So they have a sense of self, and they have language, and they have dialects, and then they have a third language that they'll use when they start trying to work with other like porpoise animals to hunt together collectively. So they have a shared language. And it's like, if we realize how intelligent and how conscious, which is I think the key word, some of these animals are, maybe all of these animals are, will we stop fucking putting them in pools?
Oh man, I gotta tell you,
amen. It's zoos, aquariums, all shit is animal prisons. Like I feel terrible.
It's so bad.
Yeah, but then terrible. Let's also like it's nature, right? And like it's not like dolphins rip fish in half to use them as pocket pussies. So
They
I mean,
also, they rape.
that's
dolphins
true.
Rape.
That's very true. I'm
But
not.
one's
I mean,
torture, though. One is like you are confined.
I feel like that fish probably didn't want to be used as a fleshlight.
It was got over
So
and
those
dead.
are the ones we gotta lock them up. I'm calling for fund the sea police. Fund the sea police, people.
Dude, yeah. What if you can understand what dolphins are? Dolphins get turned on apparently by humans and
By
you're like,
everything.
Hello.
They're super horny.
They're super horny.
Yeah.
And you're like, look at this cute dolphin. And the dolphin's like, what's up?
That I thought
How
was
you
in the
doing,
group was
Candice? What's poppin'?
Rogan posted it. Speaking of Rogan, in this clip, is scientists had a groundbreaking conversation with a humpback whale in her own language, and it could help humans chat with aliens one day.
Feed me.
Like in that movie Arrival.
I don't think I saw that. What's the premise of that?
Oh my god!
You saw
Why
it?
you don't like it? It is one of the best movies of
No,
all time.
no. It's a good movie, but it's like, fuck,
It's
I
an
don't want it.
incredible movie.
It's too much.
And it's basically this linguist is trying to figure out how to communicate with these aliens that come, and it is like there's this song. It's called "The Nature of Daylight," and to me, it's one of the most beautiful songs ever written. It's like it encompasses the entire human experience in one song, and then when you see her story, I'm not going to give it away, but it's just like the most accurate and like heart-wrenching depiction of unconditional love that I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. 10 out of 10.
I don't want any more knowledge. I have enough knowledge. I don't want any more knowledge. If anything, I want Neuralink to make me dumber. I want to be like I want to be an 86 IQ. I want to be like
I want a red line.
I want to wake up every day and be like wrestling. I want the opposite of Flowers of Algernon. I want to dumb this thing down and just be like, yeah, just yeah, this is good, fun, like it here. That's what I want.
No, I want to max out.
But you want to max out?
Yeah, I want to max
You're
out.
gonna be like Lucy.
Just like, yeah, let's see what this baby can do.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I just watched that movie, Lucy.
Yeah? What'd you think?
I liked it. I liked it. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something you might not know about me, Mick. I would have sex with Scarlett Johansson.
I think everyone would.
No, just me.
She's all right.
Really?
I don't know why she's like this. Yeah,
I think
was,
she's
even during watching, I was like, I don't know why
Yeah.
she's this like crazy thing. She's all right.
All right.
She's all right. She's all right.
I would
gosh.
do Scarlett Johansson. I wouldn't
Everyone
do
would.
a child like the diddler in our next video.
Good for you, G.
Thanks, man. That's a transition.
10-year-old boy.
Hey, you remember
He molested this man.
Try to suck my
He
dick?
molested this man.
Nah, you don't
This
remember all
man
that
molested
shit?
him.
You don't remember all the times you used to
How much
try
did
to
you
beat
pay
off
him?
with me?
How much did you pay him?
You don't remember all that?
How much did you pay him?
Shut the fuck up, dog. Hey, how many times you used to do all that shit?
How many
huh?
times did you pay him?
Nah,
How many times did you pay him?
Get out. Hey, no, fuck.
This man, you want to be on camera for?
Back it up.
Stop touching
Oh,
me.
you
Back it up.
out of
Stop
here.
touching me.
Back it up.
You better call the police.
Hey,
Back it up.
no.
Let's
Hey,
go.
remember all the times you
Get your hands off me. Get your
Remember
hands
all
off
that
me.
shit? You don't remember
This man
that shit?
molested a 10-year-old boy.
I was
He paid
10.
him money.
10 fucking years old! Get out of my face. 10!
Call the police. Call the
You don't
police.
understand!
Call the police.
Fuck you, dog! You a piece of...
Get out
Bro!
of here. Get out of here.
Bro, fuck!
Call the police.
Man, nah!
Get out of
You
here.
used to try to always
Get
suck
out
my
of
dick,
here.
dog!
Get out of
How many
here.
all the times you used to try to
Get
pay
out
me
of
to suck your dick, huh? How many times?
How many times?
I'm not.
How old was I,
I'm
Brian?
not talking.
How old
Why
was you?
not? Why not? Why are you talking?
Hey, stop touching me.
Come on, man.
Stop touching
Leave
me.
him alone.
You're not
Stop
being
touching
in the
me.
church.
Leave him alone.
Stop touching me. I have a First Amendment right to record now. You need to stop touching
Hey,
me.
nobody was there to protect me! Hey, nobody was there to fucking protect me!
Logan.
Nobody was there to protect me, dog!
He paid.
Hey!
He made.
You
he
piece
making-
of shit!
Man, that was very difficult to watch. It was very hard to watch.
What standpoint? Like you feel bad for the guy yelling?
Yeah. I mean, reconciling it with the idea that everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and this is like a video that's in the public
feel
forum.
like he's guilty.
Yeah, but that's
I know it's maybe not right.
That's a
but
slippery slope. That means
I know.
anybody can set anybody up at any time, and throw a fit in public like that. And now you got to spend the rest of your life trying to convince people something didn't happen. You know what I mean? It's I mean, obviously it looks like there's very clear pain in that.
I'm
man's
happy
voice.
that I mean, if he's guilty, which I feel like he is. I'm happy the chickens came home to roost. I'm happy he has to feel something. That he has to feel something negative. And I don't think it's enough if he actually did that shit.
Yeah. No,
that's
firing squad.
Yeah, fire or worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the very least, a bullet in the head for any of these fucking
anyone who touches predators. A kid. Yeah.
Any child predator, bullet in the head, put him down.
Have you ever seen the video?
Spiked bat.
Speaking of that, have you ever seen the video of the that mother in, I believe it was Germany in the late 70s? I think she just passed away, so the video went viral.
She
like
shot
a couple
the
weeks
lady.
Ago.
Or shot the man?
Shot the guy, brought the gun into the court.
The lady, yeah. She died young.
Yeah, she ended up, she did like 12 years in jail and then I think passed away of cancer. But it's pretty remarkable. Jamie, if you can find that video, yes. And then was like almost like bragging about it in his testimony. So the next day she decided to be
cold-blooded. Like that guy who pretends to be on the phone and then turns around and shoots the guy. He was like the karate coach who was raping his kid.
I don't
and
remember
that guy,
the
judge was like, that's the most famous one. The judge was like,
threw it out.
Threw it out. Was like, nah, you're good.
Texas.
Yeah, Texas. And that's where the cops like knew the guy too. And they're like, Joe, no, Joe.
Yeah,
like, come on, Joe.
That's a crazy clip. That's an all-timer.
I went down a rabbit hole once of like convictions on this stuff and like how the family reacts. It's the pain, the absolute pain in these families. And some of these guys, they get convicted and they almost like smirk at the victim's family. And there was one where the dad just had enough and he went over the, and started a melee and he got broken up. And the judge was like, take him away. And the guy is literally pleading, like he's begging as he's being taken away, like, let me get him. Please, let me get him. I'm never going to have another chance. Please. And it's just heart-wrenching.
And they'll get taken care of in jail.
I hope so.
Do you think that gives closure?
I mean, you're the only one that can give yourself closure. I don't think killing someone's going to give you closure. That's like an emotional and energetic stain that happens and you have to work to remove it. And that's not, you don't like kill someone because they hurt your kid and you're like, I feel better. My kid feels better. Like that's a lot of work to get over that.
Well, there's a very famous ongoing case right now with one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, Cain Velasquez. And details of that are very difficult to come by. I believe he's on work release right now. He's allowed to be out on bail. I think he's doing like wrestling in Mexico or something like that. But yeah,
he tried to kill the guy who
is accused.
Was raping his kid.
Is accused though.
Is accused. Whatever. Yo, honestly, that guy in that video, he had gay child molester voice. Guilty.
I mean, he did.
Right?
He did. And he was getting red and he was going, shh. Like, that's not the
like,
reaction. Please, if someone came
you're like,
to
whoa,
me,
what are you talking about?
Like, who are you? Yeah, wouldn't it be like, shh. Yeah, I don't know. I think that stuff gets taken care of in jail. I mean, they don't deal with people that hurt women or children. They don't take kindly to that.
Good. Yeah, nor should they.
Nor should they. So it's like your kid needs you.
Yeah.
Right. Don't go to jail for doing something that's already going to be taken care of.
Yeah. I mean, as a father, I don't know if there's any way to recover from that. Your entire reason for existing is to protect and provide.
Yeah. And you can't do that behind bars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
You know, and I think the whole thing is it's trying to overcome your instincts and your hardwiring and what is like your Neanderthal, right? Mm-hmm. So that's there and for a good reason, but you have to be able to mitigate now or not now.
Sure. We talk about a mind virus, in the last episode and early in this episode. Like, I believe the statistics are remarkably high without having the numbers in front of me. The people who molest kids are 90% or higher. They were molested themselves. It's a self-perpetuating thing.
It's like the way they reproduce.
In some ways, huh?
It jacks their brain and it fucks the kids up, and then often the molesters were molested themselves.
Did you see that new study for Australia? It's something crazy. Oh my gosh, I have it saved. I'll pull it up. It's something crazy like 30% of Australian men fantasize about children, and an alarming amount of 1 in 8 have have molested or
1
raped.
in 8?
Yeah, let me find the study.
Well, listen, we can make fun of Australia all we want, but we can't act like Britney Spears wasn't the biggest star in the world because she was jailbait. We can't act like Danielle Brijoli, Bad Baby, isn't making millions of dollars a month off of her OnlyFans because of what people thought about her when she was 15 years old and developed early. Like, this is, this is a
1 in 6.
1 in 6.
15.1% of Australian men have sexual feelings towards children. Approximately 1/3 of this group reports sexually offending against a child. And this is in Australia. Around 1 in 10, so 9.4% Australian men has sexually offended against a child. Approximately half of this group, which is 4.9%, reports sexual feelings towards children. In total, almost 1 in 5, 19.6 Australian men in this study have sexual feelings for children and or have sexually offended a child. What the fuck is happening in Australia?
Well, they are outlaws.
An outlaw is not a pedophile.
They're all sent down there. You never know what their reason for going. I'm making half a joke because they were all British's prisoners. Britain's prisoners, but
it's a penal colony, not a pedo colony, though. Yeah, it's data? Where'd they collect that data
It was starting
from?
to go viral. Let me open it up. So this guy is actually supposed to come on my podcast in a couple weeks. His name is Alexander. He's like a cognitive behavioral neuroscientist. He reposted this study, but the study I had seen go viral on TikTok from some Australian content creators. And it's from the apo.org.au, Identifying and Understanding Child Sexual Offending Behaviors and Attitudes Among Australian Men. It's written by Michael Salter, Delaney Woodlock, and Tyson Witten, and there's a few others that are captioned in, but it's a whole study, so you guys can look it up, because everyone always says she doesn't know what she's talking about. So here is the fucking research that I did not conduct.
Jamie, could you throw up that Gary Plosh, I think his last name is? I think he just died, but this is the guy so that's the guy who was molesting his son.
That guy.
And now watch this. This is on the news.
March of 1984, when authorities escorted 25-year-old Jeffrey Doucette through the Baton Rouge airport to face charges of kidnapping and sexual assault on a 12-year-old boy.
That's the dad.
The victim's father suddenly appeared, shot Doucette while news cameras were rolling. The father, 39-year-old Leon Gary Plauche, pleaded no contest to a reduced charge of manslaughter and today received a suspended sentence with 5 years probation. The judge said prison would serve no useful purpose.
Gary Plauche.
That's a good judge, folks.
Good judge.
Great judge.
Also
Great
remarkable to me that 39-year-olds in the 80s look like they were 59.
I know.
Yeah, right? Isn't that wild?
Aging is so different now.
Crazy.
I mean, look at J-Lo. You know what I mean? She's in her 50s.
I'll look at J-Lo whenever you want me to, baby. Yeah. Let's end this heavy episode on a high note, huh, guys?
Yeah. If you guys want to donate, if child abuse and all that is important, I want to plug like a nonprofit, if that's cool.
Please. Done!
Operation Rescue Children. You can check that out.
Operation Rescue Children? That's what's up.
Yeah,
awesome.
So donate there if you feel inclined to stop these sickos before
Absolutely.
it perpetuates.
And if you have a predilection towards kids, you have to have the discipline to not do that, or you.
How many people are attracted to kids? What world are we living in here?
I don't
man?
fucking know, bro. It is what it is. There's evil out there, but just
play Grand Theft Auto and get it out of your system that way.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
You don't get to it doesn't. You don't.
That's a fallacy. So I mean, I know we're trying to wrap up the episode, but there's this idea that if you can create this content, especially in like porn, right, and you can mimic it, that they will have a release and they won't actually offend, and that's not true.
Yeah, like having like a child sex doll.
Well,
I've heard of that.
Or you have like the of age girls, but they look like they're not, and like that'll be enough. But they've done studies, and like the people that are consuming this content, it's over 80% of people that are watching this have actually acted on it. So it doesn't prevent anything.
And if you don't act on it, you get to live. If you act on it, done.
Yeah.
You get put down.
Jeez.
Better luck next time.
Yeah, I think that's maybe something. Now, going back to the Neuralink thing, and then we'll get to the fun part of the episode. would you be okay with like somebody is rehabilitated and they're like they were able to change their biochemistry or something like that, then that person comes back and because the idea behind prison is that they have to be rehabilitated, right? Like, is there any way? Is there any way to get these people to be back in society where any of us would feel okay with them in society? Well, we don't
have a good rehabilitation system, especially if you look at other models like Swedish or Nordic models. They do a much better job at reintegrating like ex-felons, or I guess are they even called felons, but like ex-prisoners back into society. I don't know what the numbers are. I wish we had like a thing we could look it up super quick, but like a
computer.
Like but like the chances of
Neuralink, look it up.
Yeah, right. That's why I need it. The chances of offending are really high in this country. So we're already sucking at it. So if it's something that's going to hurt a child, I mean, I don't know if there's a room for redemption there. I think that's irredeemable.
I agree.
I tend to agree. There was an instance of it in my family, and it ruined so many different lives across generations. It has such a ripple effect that it's
so selfish.
It's the biological atomic bomb. You know, it's an act of terrorism. It destroys so many lives. You know, and sadly enough, then now I have to wonder in a very, you can't say this. This is like very passe to say, and I definitely don't want to get into like a victim blaming thing here. But I have to wonder, like, man, I hope to God they're not doing it too, because the idea is it's recidivism. It happens to you, then you do it to somebody else, and then like, what the fuck? Now I got to sit here like, do I have that conversation? How's that happen?
I've got the numbers on my handy dandy computer. So 76% of all inmates end up back in jail within 5 years. So we do not have a rehabilitation system.
No, we've got
we
have a recycling plant.
We have a industrial complex.
We do.
Prison industrial complex.
Huh.
And on that note,
some say that's rooted in racism. I'm sure this gentleman would agree.
Your favorite white people sayings. I'm going to name a few. G. Willikers, as if, yeah, bro.
Fuck yeah, bro, is a good one.
You know what I really like when it even hurts harder than some curses. They'd be like, Jesus Christ! Or Christ Almighty.
Yeah, rat's ass is a good one.
Ooh,
I don't give a rat's ass.
I don't give a rat's
I'm like,
ass.
damn.
Damn.
You really don't give a fuck.
Not even a rat's ass?
Damn, nigga.
Not even a rat's ass, my boy. That's crazy, my boy. Somebody said the white people were in their bag when they came up with newsflash, buddy.
That's a good one.
Newsflash, buddy.
Newsflash, buddy.
Yeah, you in what army?
Shout out to white people.
Candice, you're white passing. What are your favorite white people words?
I liked the newsflash and I liked the you and what army. Those ones are really good.
How about cut the malarkey?
I haven't heard that one in a long time. Slow as molasses. That's one
Slow as molasses.
I think they got me on that one pretty good. Those are pretty much all in my vernacular. If Jesus Christ, I'm pissed. I am pissed.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I don't say rat's asses. I don't give a fuck. You know. I'd say what. Yeah. Buddy's a big one with me. Like easy, buddy. Fucking easy, buddy. I think it's almost more corny when white guys try to sound like urban. Or like, he's him. Shut the fuck up, Tyler.
How about this?
Shut up.
Oh,
dude.
that's rich coming from you.
That's rich. I love that one.
Who says that?
My mom.
Let's skedaddle. Let's skedaddle.
I really do. I do say some corny shit, man. I really maybe it must be that Gaelic blood, man. It's I'm definitely like see you later, alligator. Well, big gulps, huh?
Now listen here, pal.
Yeah. I think white guys probably more than Spanish guys, black guys, and Asian guys. So much of our friendly banter is just reciting the same 6 movie lines back and forth to one
How do you like them apples?
Yeah, that's what she said. You know, fucking, what are some other? I mean, I have friendships where we've never spoken to each other outside of just
movie quotes
and like side eyes about a hot chick. Like, that's another big white guy thing. Another big white guy thing is when there's a good.
I got
girl.
friends who especially my one friend, shout out Rich Petishnock. We could be anywhere and he'll be like, hey man, like 7 o'clock. I'm like, first I gotta do the clock. And like, how do you even? Oh, like a mile away? Like what the fuck? He's got like radar.
Yeah. Yeah. A butt to me is like something that is like enjoyed. Like you see, like at the airport, you're just
you want to
there.
share it with people?
Yeah, you're like sitting there, and then like somebody walks by, and you're like, first you're looking to see is anybody catching you, like looking at it, and then when there's always like one guy, and you make eyes, and then he goes, and then you go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, pal.
Yeah. She's got a tush. That's a heck of a tush.
That's a tushy.
That's a nice tush. Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, white people. We're not so bad.
Depends who you're asking.
We're not so bad. I wouldn't put us last on the list.
Who would you put last on the list, Gerard?
Yeah.
Who would I put last on the list? I gotta tell you, maybe I'm wrong. Liberal white women are pretty fucking bad. Leftist white women are really hard to deal with. They're really, angry black women are not great either. Who's the worst of all, though? I feel like people want me to say Nazis.
They're white.
But I've never really met one. But I have lived in apartment buildings with people from the sub-Asian continent. And man, it stinks. It's a stinky thing.
And we're canceled.
Canceled weekly.
We out. See you never.
Well, it's been nice working with you guys.